Alright, so hi guys. So, in today's video, I have a wonderful and fabulous sketchbook update. I hope that the microphone quality is a lot better now than it was before, because I'm not using my microphone stand anymore because it broke. Yeah. And before you go in the comments, bitch, why'd you break it? I didn't mean to, but I don't really care because the microphone stand thing itself was like 15 bucks. And I think I was mostly paying for the microphone, which still works. It just doesn't have the stand anymore. But that's good because that means I can just prop it anywhere and film a video. And yeah, it just won't stand up as easily because it's a ball. But fuck it, I can probably buy one for 15 bucks on the internet again. I don't really care. 15, 20 bucks is not, doesn't matter to me. That's beyond the point. I probably won't because it'll probably just break again. Because, yeah, I think that broke because I accidentally fell on the floor or something. So I don't care. Anyways, just wanted to say that, so that might be probably why you can hear me better, because I propped my microphone somewhere up without that thing, because with that thing I couldn't really prop it up as easily. Well, I mean I could, but less room, because that took up more space. But anyway, so today we have a sketchbook update. Sorry if I sound tired, I kind of am, I just woke up. And the reason you didn't get a video last week was because I was without power for 4 days, so I didn't have time to upload a video. And I was gonna upload this midday week when I got my power back, but I decided against that because I just wasn't filming it properly, and it got to the point where it was really late at night and I didn't want to bother with it anymore. So instead, I decided I'm going to do it this weekend because I always have more energy on the weekends. So why not? Well, I don't have more energy because I just woke up, but that's just because I'm going somewhere, so I don't want to do this later today because I'm going to be in a hotel room because I'm going to see my brother in college. So that's why I have to do it really early. Also, I just want to say before we get started, the paper quality in this sketchbook is so bad. If you ever are in the store or ever anywhere and you see a sketchbook that has like really fuzzy paper that's like kind of thick but really fuzzy but kind of thick and just very bad, fuzzy, thick, kind of textured, don't buy it. Or if you're in a consignment shop and you see a sketchbook like that, don't buy it. Whenever I would erase in this sketchbook, bits of the paper would actually come off it on my eraser, and I'd have to pick off bits of paper from my eraser every time I would erase on the sketchbook. And if I erased more than 3 times in one spot, it would actually rip the paper, so I was ripping a layer of the paper off, and it was that fucking bad. So at some points I didn't even want to use this sketchbook, but I had to finish it because my last sketchbook tour, which I might link in the description, I didn't finish that sketchbook, so I didn't want to start a trend of not finishing sketchbooks. So I made myself finish this sketchbook, so some of the art might be uninspired or whatever, either because I didn't want to use the sketchbook or because I was depressed, because I was kind of depressed through a little bit of this sketchbook because my friend has been very depressed recently, but I've just kind of learned that it's not my problem to be depressed over my friend's problems when they don't really affect me, or they shouldn't affect me. And yeah. And now, I mean, sure, you can be sad with your friends, but not to the point where it's causing you the same depression they're getting when it doesn't affect you in that way. It might, but it's kind of more their problem than your problem, so don't make it your problem, is what I'm trying to say. Unless, specifically, it is your problem, or, they're trying to do something really bad, and then you want to help them. But if you can't help them and you feel bad about that, then that's not really your problem, because you try and help them and then they don't want it, so that's their problem. Anyways, to start off, we have a bunch of stickers because it was around Christmas and Thanksgiving around the time when I started this. I think it was a week or 2 before Thanksgiving when I started it, and then a month or so before Christmas. But everyone in our school was hyped about Christmas, so basically it was Christmas for a whole month. My school. We got some SML stuff, and if you don't know what SML is Super Mario Logan. He makes a bunch of plush videos on the internet, and what I mean by that is he basically does a bunch of funny skits with plush videos that are PG-13 at best. And yeah, I really like Cody and Junior from it. I don't think that's a good drawing of Junior by any means, but I really like Cody and Junior from SML, so that's what I drew. Right there is Cody and Junior. Alright, I was checking to see that they're both in focus, but there. Here is a drawing I actually posted to my Instagram, but the drawing is of Olsen and, no, Nick and Olsen. Sorry, I pointed to the wrong people when I said their names. I was trying to call him Olsen, but he's not, he's Nick. And for some reason, Nick is taller in this, but I posted it anyway. I was trying to watercolor in this sketchbook, which, obviously I cannot because every time I put water to the paper ripped up so badly that I have nightmares about paper ripping up in my sleep now. Thank you, Sketchbook, for that. But I'm stupid, so I tried to do this again in the back of the sketchbook, and somehow it worked better because I used less water. And then here is a drawing of what I thought the Demon Realm Woods would be, but this is a terrible attempt at landscape. I tried to do landscape again in my new sketchbook, and that came out much better. Here's some Hey Arnold stuff, because the Hey Arnold Jungle movie came out like 3 days after Thanksgiving, and I was super hyped, so I had to do some art of that, because you know, I'm in the Hey Arnold fandom, low-key. I say low-key because I don't really do that much fan art for it, but I really should, because I have a few accounts that do fan art for Hey Arnold all the time that I love, so yeah. And then here's a drawing of Jenny for Thanksgiving, because, I don't know, I just felt like Jenny would fit to celebrate the holiday Thanksgiving. She kind of fits with the whole autumn aesthetic, so yeah. Then here's some first place prize winner stuff. Obviously this is terrible in the first place prize winner because I had like a contest on my account just for fun because I reached 500 followers. And the first place prize winner, well, her art was just terrible, the art I gave to her, because they all got art prizes. And hers was the worst. It made me feel bad that she won first place, so, yeah, I guess lesson here is don't win first place in my contest or you get my shittiest. I was playing a lot of Pocket Camp around Christmas time to a little bit before and a little bit after Christmas time. But around Christmas vacation or December vacation, I played a lot of Pocket Camp. I have since stopped playing it because when I tried to play Pocket Camp 3 weeks ago or something like that, it glitched me out of the game and wouldn't let me open into the app anymore because I hadn't played it for so long. So, fuck you, Pocket Camp. Now I can no longer play you, and I refuse to start over because you were kind of getting a little boring, but I still wanted to play you. But not enough to restart. Because I was at like level 30 or something, so F you. So this is a drawing of my Pocket Camp character. I made my Pocket Camp character look like Mike because the blue hair was super cute and I really liked it, and I'm like, I really like the blue hair, but I don't have blue hair, so I'm gonna make myself Mike because I like the boy character better and the hairstyles with that. So yeah, and then like after I started playing, I realized that there were a lot of cute girl hairstyles that I didn't care to look at. So I could have made myself look like me. I just didn't care. And this is a drawing of Jessica in the Pocket Camp style. Another drawing of Mike. Another drawing of Mike. And yeah. Then here's a drawing of something that I saw on Doodle Date. I was homesick one day and I was watching some Doodle Date videos. And one of the videos I saw was Steph giving a tutorial of how she draws in her style in one of the videos, and I liked that, so I tried to draw in Steph's style, and I really liked how she drew her eyes, so I ended up using that eye style for one or two of my OCs in the future. Here's a drawing based off a Glass Animal song. I cannot remember the song name off the top of my head, because I have a hard time remembering that song name off the top of my head, but basically this is just some gore vent art. I drew this as vent art because I think I was really salty that my friend was being really depressed and ignoring me because she was being really depressed. So yeah, I know she was ignoring me, but I felt like she was, so yeah. So then I drew really salty rant art in art club. Yeah, I drew my OC Nick. He's dying because there's a pineapple in his head. And these are lyrics to the song. It says, pineapples are in my head, got nobody because I'm brain dead. Some of you guys might know the song name. You can comment that. But, fun fact about this drawing, apparently in this drawing, Nick kills his boyfriend. Because, look, He stabbed his boyfriend in the head, then he cut off his boyfriend's head, and then he served his boyfriend's stabbed head on a platter to whoever comes at his door. I guess don't cross Nick's path. Oh look, here's vent art, not vent art, here's rant emo stuff, because emo, you can pause and read that if you want. It'll make you think my life is so depressing, when really I was just in a randomly depressed state. And the second I got out of it, I was laughing at myself, because I'm like, bitch, I have nothing to be depressed about. And I sounded like such a wannabe depressed idiot. So yeah. Here's a drawing that a friend in school did, and they're like, I'm gonna draw your O.C. Nixon. And I'm like, what? And he's like, your O.C. Nixon with long hair. And I'm like, oh, Nick. And he's like, yes. And I'm like, okay, draw it. And he draws this. And then he goes, wait, that doesn't look like your O.C. Nixon. I'ma draw my new O.C. This is my O.C. now. Do not steal. And then he ran off. And I was laughing so hard. Bless him. He tries so hard to understand my O.C.s. Here's like a bunch of character traits of a bunch of my O.C.s. Because I really just didn't want to draw on pages, so I had to fill them up with writing. Here's a drawing of Olsen, who's being very sad, and I was kind of doing like the expression, I'm so blue, and I took that literally by coloring him in all blue. And the words right here say, sometimes I wonder how everyone can walk around like everything is so fine when everything feels so horrible to me. I'm smart, so why can't I grasp the feeling and understanding of happiness? And that's kind of how Olsen feels sometimes, but it was also how I was feeling at the time. Now, I no longer feel like this, so don't be bad, but I no longer feel like this. But that's also how Olsen feels, because around the time I was very depressed, I needed an OC to relate to my depression. So I looked at Olsen and I went, you already have panic attacks. Depression and panic attacks go hand in hand. And I was like, Olsen has mild depression now confirmed. Because I really needed an OC to relate to me. So I kept drawing sad Olsen stuff, and I'm like, well, at this point, Olsen can just have mild depression. Now, he doesn't have it to, like, the point where it's clinical, but just mildly. Which is, like, it can be some of the cause of his panic attacks and all that, but not to the point where he needs pills for it or anything. But he does go to therapy for his panic attacks, so he probably talked about that there, too. Here's a drawing of one of my friend's OCs. I apologize if my voice sounds very off. I literally woke up 5 minutes ago and wanted to make sure I could film this. I should have got water or something first. Oh well. Here's a drawing of one of my friends. It's not really her OC, I know I said it was, but it's more like just a random drawing she did of a character, a one-off character that I really liked, so I drew it. Because I found it in one of our really old sketchbooks. Here's a drawing of the Sesame Street Stranger Things parody. Now, if you don't know me, then you probably won't know that I love Sesame Street and I love Stranger Things. But if you know me, you will know that. And so when Sesame Street and Stranger Things fuse together, that's a fandom crossover, because I'm in both fandoms, don't ask, that I cannot deny. So I had to do fan art of that. It was cute. The Cookie Monster was the Demogorgon. Some random puppet character was playing Barb. I think Ernie was playing, oh god, the one with the curly hair. I don't know all their names off the top of my head at the moment, but he was the cute boy with curly hair that went around with Steve in season 2. But yeah, this was basically a parody of the beginning of Stranger Things season 2. They even showed Will coughing up some of the little Demogorgon things, which was quite graphic considering this was a made-for-kids version of it. And it was called Sharing Things. And it was beautiful, and I laughed so hard. Here's a drawing of Jeffy. I'm not really a crazed Jeffy fangirl, but, you know, Jeffy was the only human-type character, aside from Chef Pee-Pee, in SML that mainly occurred, other than as a side character. So I wanted to draw him because he was the only human character, and you know I draw humans. I also want to draw Chef Pee-Pee soon, so I'm thinking about drawing that in my new sketchbook, maybe. Here's a drawing of Jessica and some random girl from Jessica's school. Jessica's making out with a random girl from her school, because I imagine Jessica would get really drunk one night and make out with girls, and then the next day Olsen would confront her and be like, you made out with girls at that party last night. What's that all about? And she'd be like, nothing, and Olsen would be like, no, you're bi now. And then Olsen would basically annoy her until she admits that she's bi, and then she'd be bi, because she headcanonly is bi. Here's a drawing of my OC Sadie. I really hope this is still in focus. But here's a drawing of my OC Sadie, and I don't draw her that much, but she's supposed to be shipped with my OC Gamson, who I really hope you can see right here in the bottom corner. Yeah, I draw her maybe once, twice in a sketchbook, not really at all. She's more a background OC with all the torch stuff, so yeah. Here's a drawing of me and my friend right here, and I showed this to my friend, and because we were holding hands, she goes, "That's really gay," so I have since stopped complimenting my friend and stopped drawing me and my friend together ever, because she won't stop saying that. Then here's another drawing of me and my friend. I am actually supposed to be brushing my friend's hair with a fork because we went in a white van, yes, a white van for school, because we were going on some field trip, and inside that white van I found a random fork on the floor, so I started brushing my friend's hair with it because that's friendship, right? Right? No? Okay, that's how our friendship works. And then here's Olsen and Nick making out because, yeah, I hate the style of how I drew this, except Nick's butt. That's a pretty good butt. Here's a drawing of the Metal Claw leader, and if you don't know, the Metal Claws are basically another gangster group in the demon realm that fight the Twerts, because there are a bunch of gangster groups in the demon realm. The Twerts just happen to be the only gangster group that are teenagers. The rest of them are like 20, 30-year-olds. And they fight, and they all basically hang out in this underground place, conversing and fighting each other and stuff. Except the Twerts, who don't do that because they're too edgy. Here's a character. I think his name was Kyla, but he was from Pocket Camp, and I think he's in some of the Animal Crossing DS games, but I know he was in Animal Crossing Pocket Camp, and he was my favorite Animal Crossing Pocket Camp character because he had such lovely aesthetics. So I drew him in like a Christmas outfit and all that, because Christmas had ended like 3 days ago and I was still on a hype. Because I love the holidays, because I get to spend so much happy time with my family, and usually not that I don't spend a lot of time with my family, but usually when I do, we do very boring things that we always do, like go to the movies, go shopping, and it's like we always do that together, so I like to spend time with my family doing something different, celebrating a holiday, something you don't do every day. And then here's a Thixon drawing for all you lovely Thixon shippers, because yay, Thixon! I'm gonna read it to you. So it goes, so Olsen is thinking, oh no, he's hot. And then here's Nick's ass without a body, because logic. Nick's thick ass, to be exact. Then here's Nick's thick ass sizzling over here, because oh my gosh. And then Olsen's thinking, that ass be so smoking, it might set off the school's sprinkler systems. And he is just in love with it. And a random 7th grader wanted to look through my sketchbook, so I was like, okay. And I forgot this was in here. And she goes, oh, Nick's ass, is that somebody you know? Because you drew his ass. And I go, no, it's just a random thing I made up. I don't know, that's not supposed to be anyone's ass. And she looked so horrified that she looked like she wanted to die at that moment when she saw this. But she didn't, and she just went flipping through it more. That's why you don't show sketchbooks to people who aren't your friends' kids. But if they're your friends, you show them that sketchbook because they're probably on the same level as you, whether or not you think it. Here's a new OC that I drew. I can't remember his name off the top of my head because I had my followers vote for what his name would be, and I never wrote it down, but he's supposed to be Jenny's ex. So yeah, I'll probably end up giving more development on him if I do a OC bio video on him. Basically OC bio, like an introductory video on him or anything like that, so yeah. But I haven't fully developed him enough, so. Here's something I did for an art trade with Highly Invisible on Instagram. I'm going to link to Highly Invisible and Noodle Raymond down below because I drew Noodle Raymond in this sketchbook. She's my friend who I drew with the fork, me brushing her hair with the fork, and Highly Invisible because I drew his OCs. I'm going to link to both of them down below. Yeah, but I really like this drawing because I tried a new pose and I was really happy with how it came out. Oh, it says, boy, open me. Guess I gotta open you now. Yeah, I did this with a few of these because I was watching, I don't know if you can see that, but yeah. I was watching Bailey J's sketchbook tour, And basically in her sketchbook tour, she was opening a bunch of papers that she taped in there and folded. And I liked that. I thought that was kind of cool that she folded a bunch of papers in her sketchbook and then taped them in. So I was like, I'm going to do that in my sketchbook because I really don't want to draw on these pages because they're terrible. I almost cried at one point because these pages are so bad. I really didn't want to draw on them. So instead I did cheap tactics to get rid of pages, like writing on them and taping old art on them. I really like this old drawing right here because it looks really cute and accurately her height is the height I imagine Nick to be. So yeah, Nick is like actually accurately midget's height. He's actually like well, he's not a midget, but like he's basically really small like one, but slightly taller than like those really small little midgets, like little people midgets, but still midget sized, I guess. Here's some drawings of One Hell of a Butler's OC, Hamilton right here, and then some drawings of Sebastian because she won 3rd place in my art contest. I'm not really happy with how her art came out either. I'm only happy with how the 2nd place winner's art came out, but her as 3rd place, she won a drawing too, so let's switch concepts for that. I'll also link One Hell of a Butler's Instagram down below because she's getting a little more active on her Instagram and stuff, and I can definitely tell because she's coming to more of my live streams and all that good stuff. So yeah, if you ever want to see me live stream, go to my Instagram because I don't really live stream on YouTube that much, just because not that many people care, or like follow me on YouTube that follow me on Instagram. And then here's a drawing of Hannah with some hearts. Here's a drawing of Sophia with a flower covering her eye, kind of gory. And then here's a little drawing of Damon, or Dean. And so, Damon Dean, here's a drawing of him. My friend really liked this because of the really short proportions. And so yeah, because every time I wanted to draw a full body in here, I had to do really short proportions. Because this sketchbook is actually like an inch or two smaller than my normal small sketchbooks. Like, I have a small sketchbook on my bed, so I'm not going to go get it. But the small sketchbook on my bed is like this big, and this is like this big. So it's a little smaller than what I'm normally used to for small sketchbooks. So I didn't like that either about it. Here's a pose that I saw SpongeBob do because I was watching a video of SpongeBob and I paused at the right moment. And he made this really cute face that I had to draw Oakson as. So I did. Here's a drawing of Daniel from the SpongeBob movie. If you don't know who Daniel is from the SpongeBob movie, he's the guy in the movie. Now I'm talking about the first movie. So he's the guy in the first SpongeBob movie that wanted to step on SpongeBob and Patrick with a spiky rubber boot. That was hired by Plankton. It was basically a hitman. And I thought he looked meme AF, so I had to draw him. I had to draw him because memes. And plus, my dad made memes about him, like, all night because he was watching the movie with me because logic. He loves SpongeBob, though. So I drew this, and then I wrote, "They don't call me the Edge Master for nothing." And my friend laughed really hard at this. And when I showed it to my dad, he just goes, "I'm loving that art, honey." And I'm like, "Thank you, Daddy." It was beautiful. He makes memes about everything I draw. Here's a drawing for 2018 I never posted. Here's a one-off character my friend created that was going to be gay, but she didn't go anywhere with them. Here's a drawing of 2 little kids kissing, and they're supposed to have like little cardboard crowns on that they made themselves because I was on Pinterest and I got a random ad for Walgreens, and in the ad for Walgreens, there were these 2 girls kissing with cardboard tiaras on, or crowns on, and I thought that was really, not 2 girls, but 2 kids kissing, and I thought that was really cute that it was just 2 kids kissing. Well, Walgreens advertised flu season, so I had to draw that, because little kids kissing is adorable. Here's a drawing of me as a chibi. Here's a drawing of me thinking to kill myself. Fun fact, I showed this to my mom, and she couldn't figure out that it was me, because I guess she doesn't know her own daughter anymore. Here's a drawing of me being happy that we have a snow day, even though we didn't get a snow day after that, and this week we basically got snow days all week, so this week was better for snow days. Then here's a drawing of my OC May Hoover, who I want to end up being one of Jenny's children, and if you don't know who my OC Jenny is, I showed her in the beginning of the sketchbook. Hold on. Alright, this is my OC Jenny, and I want to make my OC May Hoover be one of Jenny's children, because Jenny's going to have 5 children. She's going to have 1 girl and 4 boys. And yeah, that's part of the reason why she ends up divorcing her husband, who I showed you that I recently created in the sketchbook, because she has sex so many times and so many kids, and she just doesn't want to deal with it. Here's a drawing of Mike because somebody was roasting me on my art skills, and I was watching a video where they roasted me about my art for the whole video because of that one video I made about how to make a good OC versus bad OC. And so they roasted me throughout the whole video, and I got salty, and I was like, bitch, I can draw properly if I want to. I just don't try because I'm lazy. So I tried to draw this to show that I could draw somewhat properly with some anatomy to prove to the person that I could draw. Obviously, I didn't send it to them because that would be very petty of me, but just to prove to myself that I could draw, you know. Drew this. Nope, not today. This is much better. Here's a drawing I did of Lapis without any sketch lines, so I did this completely in pen, just for fun, because I found a cute pose of her on Pinterest. So I wanted to doodle that really quickly before, because this was like right after I watched a new Steven Universe episode that actually made the new Steven Universe episode where Lapis takes the barn away. For some reason, that episode made me finally ship Lapis and Period out together. Okay, I drew this because I was really sad, so I tried to draw my OCs cheering me up, and later this actually made me cry, I kid you not, because I felt so bad that my OCs tried to make me happy and they just couldn't, so I cried because I felt like I was making my OCs sad because I was being so sad. Don't even ask, but this made me cry later on when I was really sad because they looked so happy and they wanted to make me happy, but they couldn't. Anyways, Mike Olkson is saying, don't be sad, be glad you don't have my life. Hashtag problem child. And Nick is saying, don't be sad, be glad you know the way, because that meme was really popular at the time. And a kid in our class, well, not a kid in our class, but a kid in high school ran into our classroom and screamed, do you know the way, so loudly, I almost fell out of my chair. And that was the funniest thing to ever happen in my life. So I imagine that Nick would be all over this meme. And probably is sad that this meme only lasted a week. Here's a drawing of my OC Ben as a robot because somebody I was talking to on Instagram, who's one of my friends, I don't remember the username off the top of my head, but they were one of my Instagram friends, and they were like, we should do an art trade type thing where we both draw our OCs as robots, and it'll be fun. And I was like, okay, so I drew my OC as a robot here. And I actually posted this to my Amino, but not to my Instagram. So I'm going to link to my art Amino down below as well as my Instagram, because that's where I mostly post art. I'm most active on those websites. Here's a drawing, because I did like a thing where people would comment characters and I would draw my OCs in those characters' outfits. So here's a drawing of my OC Sophia in Luna Loud's outfit. Oh gosh. Here's a drawing of my OC Lavender also in Luna Loud's outfit. Here's a drawing of my OC Braun in Jamie the Mailman from Steven Universe's outfit. Here's a drawing of my OC Nick in Robbie V's outfit from Gravity Falls. And then this was something that I was going to do for the Gravity Falls Amino, but I didn't end up going with this for the Gravity Falls Amino contest. What I ended up going with was the Gravity Falls characters as greasers. So if you want to see that video, I'll link to that down below as well. I'll try and remember to link to all these videos, but any I don't remember to link to, just go to my account, man. All these videos aren't that far back on my account. I only have like 100 videos on my account anyway. Not that much scrolling to find all my videos. Here's a drawing of Bipper from Gravity Falls. Here's a drawing of a character from a video game. Here's a drawing of Noodle over here. And then here's a bunch of Piggy character descriptions because I wanted to do Lord of the Flies fan art. I also at one point wanted to do fan art for Of Mice and Men when we read that book. But I gave up on that because there wasn't really a good enough scene in Of Mice and Men that I wanted to do fan art of. And it was more slice of life. And nothing really stuck out to me in it. So I was like, I want to do fan art of it, but nothing's really calling to me. So I gave up on that. But I probably still should do fan art of that at some point because my friend is obsessed with that book. Waterfall Studies. Really gross drawing of Wilson and Nick kissing. And here's a drawing of Piggy from Lord of the Flies, and the quote says, further and further drifting away from where I want to be, who I want to be. And then right here I wrote, he was not proclaimed by the devil, because I think at some point in the beginning of the book, they talk about Piggy's character description, and while they're describing Piggy, they say that he had very soft, prominent, and chubby features, and he looked as if he couldn't hurt a fly, and that he was not proclaimed by the devil. I literally think they said something about him not being proclaimed by the devil at all, and like he was a small, pure boy. And so I really liked that. But yeah. But I'm not 100% sure because that was in the beginning of the book, and I mostly remember the end of the book. Well, most of the details from the end of the book. Here's a drawing of Olkson right here. I don't like how I drew Olkson here in a dress, because I was like, I always draw Olkson in a dress with very girly proportions and anatomy, so that needs to stop. So then I draw this, and I'm like, but that's not how Olkson looks, because generally Olkson looks more like this. Very boyish, he's tall, but he's not like so tall. He's very boyish, he's very soft, he has very boy-like, childlike proportions to him. That's why he has like bigger eyes and more expressive look to him, rather than serious and manly, because he's not. So this is more how he looks. Then here is a Guardian Angel AU where Nick dies and he becomes Olkson's Guardian Angel. You've probably heard of the AU before, but my inspiration for making this an AU was by the King of the Hill episode, Buckley's Ghost. I'm not sure if that's the actual name of the episode, but if you look up Buckley's Ghost online, you'll find the episode immediately, because it's like the most popular King of the Hill scene. And I really like the whole idea of Buckley's Ghost in that whole episode, so yeah, I decided to do this based off that, because I was watching a lot of King of the Hill at the time, and if you've never seen King of the Hill, I cannot recommend it enough. It's a slice of life cartoon, but it's really funny, as well as it is really deep, so I love King of the Hill. And if you don't believe me that King of the Hill is funny as well as deep, you look up King of the Hill memes, and you'll want to watch it, because some of the King of the Hill memes are memes on their own without even being altered. Like, they take scenes from King of the Hill, and without even altering them, it's a meme. So when the show is just a meme for being exactly what the show is supposed to be, that's saying something. That's like SpongeBob being a meme without editing it at all, because the jokes in SpongeBob are that good. Here are some drawings of As Told by Ginger characters. We have Blake Gripling, who is the rich kid from As Told by Ginger, and Carl Feltley, who is the brother of the main character Ginger from As Told by Ginger. Then we have some studies of bodies, some Steven Universe drawings, a drawing based off a prompt I found online, some marker testing, a drawing of a camera based off the Gorillaz song Tomorrow Comes Today, and it's based off the lyrics Got No Camera to See. Drawing of my OC It. This drawing was based off the song by The Pig with the Face of a Boy. The song is called The Lonely Shepherd by, of course, Pig with the Face of a Boy. It's not based on any particular part of the song, just the whole song. Then we have this drawing where I drew a blob in marker and I had to make the blob into an actual shape. So I drew a blob here and it looked like a stingray, so I drew a stingray. And this one looked like 2 feet ready to kick a soccer ball, so I drew that. This one looked like a girl with like a Cat in the Hat hat on. And then this one looked like a bending knee, so I drew that. And this one looked like the spaceship from Futurama, so I drew that. Here are some doodles that I did completely in brush pen, because I wanted to see if I could doodle in brush pen. And actually, it was kind of hard to doodle in brush pen in this sketchbook, because the way the paper was textured, the brush pen would actually get stuck on the textures of the paper, and it wouldn't work that well. So I don't think I should have been using brush pen in here. The only good thing about that was it made it so I had to go slower with my brush pen by default, because I literally couldn't go fast with it, so my lines ended up being more precise when I was inking things. So it made my brush pen inking skills better, but not when I was sketching with it, because I wanted to go faster with sketching. And yeah. Here are some pen doodles of some characters. Here we have Ronnie Ann from The Loud House, because I'm into that fandom. We have Ronnie Ann's mom from The Loud House, who reminds me a lot of Olkson's mom, because they're both nurses. We have Ronnie Ann from The Loud House in my style, and again, Ronnie Ann from The Loud House in my style. I want to draw her more in my style, because I think she looks really cute in my style. Then we have one of Clyde's dads as a teenager, because I found like this AU thing on DeviantArt of Clyde's dads as teenagers when they first met, because I think Clyde's dads are adorable. Then we have drawings of some cupcakes, drawings of some potatoes, some french fries from McDonald's that I didn't actually have, and then a drawing of a water bottle. Here are some figure studies and gesture studies. Here is my probably favorite page in this whole book, and it is a page spread of some Zentangles. My mom really liked this as well as my art teacher, but yeah, I should have done more page spreads in this, because if you ever have a sketchbook that has like binding in it and it doesn't have ring bound and it's a binded sketchbook, I recommend you try doing a full page spread on it, because binded sketchbooks work really well for full page spreads. Here's a drawing of Nathan and Olsen. I was trying to draw them in a different style, and I drew them like this. This is based off the movie Follow That Bird, which is by Sesame Street, because I love Sesame Street for their jokes and for everything else. And so yeah, and it was based off the song I'm So Blue, and it was based off the lyrics, friendly faces, a smile to greet me, just a simple hello, how are you, without them I'm so blue. And that whole song kind of reminded me of Olsen, because basically Big Bird was singing about how she missed her friends, and without her friends she was depressed. And I was like, that's kind of Olsen, because without Nick, or without Nathan, he's kind of really sad and depressed, because he relies a little bit too much on his friends to make him happy, because they're basically like his comfort objects. So without them, he doesn't know what to do, and he becomes scared and lost, which is kind of bad, because sometimes you're going to have to be away from your friends, and when you have to be away from your friends, you need to be able to handle that. But I don't think Olsen could, which is why he probably needs to go to therapy to be able to handle things like that, because he couldn't be away from Olsen for like 3 days. Not Olsen, he couldn't be away from Nick for like 3 days without probably losing himself, which isn't healthy, actually. And then here are some facial expressions with Murdoch. Here is some Burt Nerdy drawings. I'll try and link to the 1-hour video of me drawing these, because I drew these all in real time, just because I felt bad that I haven't been doing many videos. So I drew these all in real time, and yeah. Obviously, if you go see the video, you'll be able to see it without the bleed through. So if you want to see what this looks like without bleed through, skip around in that video. I say skip around because I don't think anyone wants to watch 1 hour of me ranting about being in the Sesame Street fandom. Here is a drawing of maple pines I just did a quick doodle of that I didn't finish. Here are some Japanese words. I got the Japanese word for meme, song, jinkies, a bunch of other stuff. And then here is a thing that came out of a fortune cookie I really liked. It says, "Fight for it, you will come out on top in the end." And I really like that quote, because basically I was suffering from, not suffering, because I didn't actually have clinical depression, but I was in a little bit of a depressed state, and it was because all my friends were being very depressed on the internet and in real life. They were all just acting very depressed, and no matter what I did or tried to say to them, they didn't care what I had to say. They were basically just in their own little mind and world of depression, and nothing you say or do could make them feel any better. So eventually I had to learn that I just had to fight for my right to be happy, and had to stop caring or thinking that people around me weren't happy, because if I try my best to make them feel better, and no matter what I say or do, nothing works, and they still want to go off doing their own thing, not really talk to me as much, and just be sad and to themselves, that's their problem, not my problem, and they probably need to get help for that from someone who isn't me, because obviously if I try and help them and it just makes me sad inside that I can't, then it's probably not a good idea for me to try and help them, if it's only going to make me feel worse, because nothing I do can make them feel better. That probably means they need to go find someone else who can help them, and when that someone else manages to help them, they won't feel bad. Or if that someone else doesn't help them, again, they won't feel bad. Unlike me, whereas if I don't help them, I'll feel terrible about it. But I'm getting over that now, so I'm at the point now where I'm like, that's their own issues, not my issues, so I'm not going to involve myself in that unless they ask me to, and if they ask me to, or if I think I need to, if I really can't help them no matter what I say, then I'm not going to be able to help them no matter what I do anyway. And then here's a drawing of my OC, Hannah and Sophia, as conjointed twins. Cause yay. Here's a drawing of my friend Noodle Raymond's OC, Cherry. Yeah. Here's a drawing of a random plane I found online. Here's a drawing of somebody's OC for an art trade. I don't remember the person off the top of my head, but I drew their OC for an art trade. My mom really liked this, and I do too. Here's a drawing of Go Animate Caillou and Go Animate Boris. And Go Animate Boris is screaming, Caillou, you're grounded, grounded, grounded for insert not good enough reason to be grounded. Because I thought that was funny. Here's a drawing of a random character named Greg. Here's a drawing of my OC Bill with that disease caused from one-sided love that causes you to cough up flowers everywhere. This right here is the name of the disease, but I cannot pronounce that for the life of me. So I'm just gonna not try and pronounce that and butcher it for people who can pronounce that. Here are a bunch of Japanese doodles of a bunch of Japanese stuff. And then here's a doodle of here's a doodle of Olkson's mom. And Olkson's mom is wearing one of those face masks that doctors wear, because the reason she's wearing it is because she actually is a doctor, even though she has like the little nurse hat on. She is a doctor. She just likes wearing the nurse hat because she thinks it looks cute, so she wears that even though she's a doctor. Some thumbnails. Here's the thing that I drew based off my friend because she wouldn't stop ranting about how much she loved books, so I had to draw Olkson's response to this, and I was like, because my friend keeps ranting about how much she loves books and how depressing they are, I'm going to draw Olkson reacting to all the books we've read in ELA so far. So in the beginning of the year, we read The Outsiders. So here, it was the beginning of this year. I was thinking that it might have been last year, but no, it was this year. So here's Olkson's reaction to The Outsiders. And Olkson's going, gasp. Also, spoiler alerts if you don't want spoiler alerts. But if you don't care, keep reading. Keep watching the video. Anyways, Olkson's going, gasp. No, don't die, Johnny. And then he's reading The Outsiders again. He's going, no, not you too, Dally. And then he's reading Of Mice and Men. And he's going, please don't kill Lenny, George. I will take care of him. And bless Olkson's soul, he thinks he can take care of Lenny. No, he can't, because Lenny's a fake book character, you poor, poor soul. And here he's going, you fucking monsters, how could you kill your own? As he reads Lord of the Flies. And here he's sobbing to death, and he's going, and Nick is going, honey, they're just books. And Olkson's in a puddle of his own tears going, no, they're not. Because I imagine Olkson would read a lot of depressing books for school, and after reading all those sad books, he'd basically get a panic attack because of how depressing they were. Because if Olkson makes himself really sad, he will start to, like, shake, and then he'll start having, like, a mini panic attack over his emotions because he won't be able to handle his own sadness. Because when he gets really sad, he cries uncontrollably, and he can't really handle that, so then he gets into a panic attack mode. Which is probably one of the reasons why he doesn't read that many books. That mixed with the fact that he's kind of a slow reader, actually. Here's a drawing of Junior, because I was watching a bunch of SML videos, or Super Mario Logan videos. I'll link to Super Mario Logan down below as well, you know that? And I'll link to his Super Luigi Logan account as well, because he's active on that, too, for anyone who cares. But I was watching a bunch of Super Mario Logan's videos, so I just had to draw Bowser Jr. as a human to see what that would look like. And I based this off some fan art people were doing of him as a human. These were just some characters I drew based off some prompts people gave me on Instagram. So I don't really know what much to say about them. I really like this character. The prompt was TV, bed, guitar. I like it because I found out that if I draw with my Prismacolor pencils and I use a white Prismacolor to smudge my Prismacolor pencils in, it makes this really cool effect right here that looks like pastels, but it's not. So if you ever want to have like a pastel-y look with your pencils, I recommend you get some Prismacolor pencils because they're very pigmented, and this only works if you have very pigmented pencils. And you take the white one and you smudge that around with your colors, and it'll make like a cool pastel-y effect. Okay, so my friend made some new OCs that go along with her alien story. So my friend Noodle Raymond has some new alien OCs, which I'm hoping she'll post about in the near future. Probably not. I don't know. And I just had to draw my OC Mike roasting all her new alien OCs, because basically all my OC Mike does is roast everyone. Then here's another drawing of my friend Noodle Raymond's new alien OCs right here. This one's name is 4, and he's just blushing because she was talking about how she wanted to give 4 a brother, and I fangirled when she said that, and I actually almost cried, because I love 4. He is my favorite one of her new characters ever, and he's the hottest one of her new characters, and just, like, can we talk about how much I love 4? I almost love him as much as I love my OCs. another drawing of one of her new OCs. So this is some Apple and Onion art because I watched the first 2 episodes of Apple and Onion and I love it. If you don't know what Apple and Onion is, it's a TV show on Cartoon Network. Highly recommend it. Even though it's only going to be a mini-series, I highly recommend it. It has a lot of the humor that the Amazing World of Gumball has, and it has the art style of the Amazing World of Gumball, but parts of the show actually feel a lot like regular show as well, because it has a lot of down-to-earth humor as well that's very regular show, like, especially with the buddy duo dynamic. So if you liked regular show for the humor or for the friendship of Mordecai and Rigby and how that dynamic worked, then I would recommend this show. And if you liked The Amazing World of Gumball for some of the wacky and zany humor as well as the art style, I would also recommend this show to you. And then here's a drawing of Pastel Goth Olsen. This is the second time I tried to use watercolors in this sketchbook, and it actually worked a lot better the second time around. But I wasn't actually using watercolors. I was actually using these markers right here, the Winsor & Newton watercolor markers, because I found out due to a video that you need to activate the watercolor markers with water. And I was about to give these markers away because I thought they were shitty, because I never realized you needed to activate them with water. When I realized that, they actually became the best markers I own. So, yay me being stupid. But the reason I drew Alex as a pastel goth is because your girl Noodle Raymond said that he would be a pastel goth if he was going to be any type of goth. And I loved that so much that I had to make him a pastel goth. Here's another drawing of Olsen ranting about memes because my friend Noodle Raymond was like making so many memes in one day that it actually made me a little salty because it got to the point where she wasn't taking anything seriously because memes. So I had to draw Olsen, like, basically roasting everyone who makes a bunch of memes because I don't think Olsen would like memes that much, purely because he wouldn't like memes a lot purely because they're not that smart, and he likes jokes that he has to think about. And you can be like, oh, that's clever because I actually had to think. You know, jokes like that. Here's a drawing of Nick with his hair up. I'm not too sure how good this drawing is. I know that I made one eye smaller than the other, but this drawing, I like it, but it just doesn't feel like Nick to me, and that's my problem with it. Then here's another drawing of Jenny's ex right here. I drew this in the dark, actually. Both of these drawings were done without power at all in my house, so I drew these in the cold and in the dark. So, yeah. Then just some songs that I wanted to listen to, and then the back of the sketchbook. And ladies and gentlemen, that is it for this sketchbook tour. I hope you guys enjoyed this sketchbook tour. I'm sorry the video is 47 minutes long. If you heard a lot of creaking on the chair, that's because I had to stand up on the chair so that I could see the video and all that. I hope this was in focus for the whole video, and yeah. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment your favorite drawing from this video or what you want to see me draw more of in my next sketchbook. Bye, guys!